Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to LI Sports Network's coverage of Long Island Lacrosse Suffolk County action. Here once again on the LI Sports Network, Brady Campbell and Travis with Paul Trentini on the camera. Here at Hauppauge High School, home of the Eagles, it's a bird of prey battle. The Eagles squaring off against the Deer Park Falcons. Both these teams, Travis, about halfway through their season here, not an ideal start to it. The Falcons 1-7 overall, still looking for their first conference win. The Eagles just 2-6, they're 1-5 in their conference. Big game here. Sure, the season not looking like it's going to go anywhere, but still a big game for both these teams to turn things around.
Certainly, and we talk about it a lot. You want to always end on a high note. And obviously, we've still got a couple of weeks before the end of this campaign, but as you mentioned, Brady, not the ideal starts that either side would want, but an opportunity here today to turn the tide a little bit, pick up a big victory, and carry some momentum behind your sails for the rest of the season.
Absolutely. We're just about set to go between these two teams. Starting in goal for the Falcons, number 11, Marley Witzman, 2027 graduate. That's 58 total saves on the season. And first career start for number 17, Drew DiBenedetto for Hauppauge. He is a senior going to Cortland. Will not be playing lacrosse in college. It's normally a midi. Just let's go here for the opening phase. Eagles in their home gray. The Falcons will be in the road maroon. Joe Bono will take the opening face-off for Hauppauge. He is opposed on the other side by Gene Salamoa. Falcons going left to right, Eagles right to left. Set to go at the face-off X. We are underway here on LI Sports Network. Bono comes away with the face-off, and the Eagles get the opening possession. Behind the goal, Ethan Siegel, one of the four captains of this squad. That X moves it up high to Matt Solido. Solido, the Oneonta commit. Dishes it across, spun down to the wing. Up top they go. Big day here at Hauppauge High School. Solido, a bounce shot goes high and over the net, backed up by the Eagles. Possession maintained here by Hauppauge. Behind the net, Griffin Siegel. In his left, takes the shot, just missed wide. On the backup, Gavin O'Brien. O'Brien, number 8, the attackman, 2026 graduate. Here a chance, just missed wide on the short side. Race for it. Possession will stay with Gray.
Good start, working through the first set here for the Eagles, but just 10 on the shot clock, Brady, so got to work quick.
A chance here, tough angle try, and fighting that one off from a sharp angle is Witzman. Hauppauge a few substitutions here. A little over a minute into this game. And possession has been all Eagles, although we had a bit of confusion, and it looks like possession here will go to Deer Park.
Yeah, Hauppauge knew they weren't going to get a shot off there, so just let the shot clock wind down, gave up the rock, and now Deer Park with an opportunity to clear.
So Hernandez feeds it over to Witzman, sends it down the field, and we get a clear here for Blake Muller. Muller works it into the box and sets things up here as Deer Park gets their offense settled. Sauerman off the pick, stick in his right hand. Goes down low with it while backing to the far side. Back up top for Muller. Muller, errant pass a bit out of the reach of its intended target, Sean Breslin. Almost came up with it. Instead, Hauppauge back the other way. A pass in front. They were looking for the long stick. Midi knocked down. That was Jaden Ramos. Rupel will dump it off and look for an open spot on the field. Now Salido. One-on-one here against the short stick. That is Muller guarding him. Salido from X. Stick in his right. Pass to Flex up top. They go back to him on the wing. Steps in, shoots, and a save by Witzman. First real test of him today that ended up on goal. He makes a stop.
Good stop right there. Definitely going to give Deer Park a little bit of confidence now as they start to work into their second offensive set. Didn't get anything going first time around, Brady.
Drew DeLargy had the ball. Here we get a whistle and a stoppage. Possession will stay with the Falcons. Go to X with it. Up to the wing, DeLargy. Leads it up top to Muller. Muller in his left. Drops it off. DeLargy sticking his right. Played it backhand, now cuts back. Muller. Seen pass through. Great defense. Phenomenal read in front. The Eagles get the turnover and look to go back the other way. On the ground ball and up with it is Dulce. They bring it down the field and score. Hauppauge gets the scoring started, 1-0. Great turnover there. Hauppauge, the quick breakout, and it leads to our first goal of the ball game. Ethan Siegel, FAU commit, the senior captain, on attack. That's the scoring started. Back to the face-off X we go. Bono, clean face-off win. Bono right down, Broadway, bounce shot missed. Backed up by the Eagles. They maintain possession. Salido behind the net. Coach Conan telling him to slow things down here. Salido goes high with it. Power move here by Kump. Kump tries to feed it towards the middle, knocked down. Remains with the Eagles. That shot just fired wide by Siegel. Eagles stay with possession. Pass towards the crease, knocked down here. Ball on the deck. Rolls to the top of the box, and once again, the Eagles on it. On the net goes Piscatello, feeds it in front. Shot clock winding down, and Hauppauge will forfeit possession here. Getting to it, Mario Hernandez gets it to midfield, throws it across, a big check delivered on Muller. Followed up, however. All right, Deer Park, they maintain possession. Despite Blake R delivering the boom at midfield. Now the ball on the ground. Belmonte will fend it out, and possession back to Hauppauge. Ball loose on the turf again. Deer Park trying to force a turnover. Now picked up, though. A chance from the wing. Feed across. Step and shot. Score! Nicholas Kump. 2-0. Hauppauge. Just that loose ground ball. Great passing play here in tight. And Kump can bring it. Goes high non-stick side there.
Completely sold it, Brady. That's a great shot. Picking that top corner.
So Hauppauge off to a great start here on Headstrong Foundation Night and PAL Youth Night. Big crowd here at Hauppauge High School supporting their Eagles. Solido off another face-off win here for Hauppauge. 2-6 on the season. Last time out, a 9-6 loss to Manitowoc. Looking to get back in the win column. Another shot, score! Kump, back-to-back goals in less than a minute for 15 in gray.
You see, sold it right here, Brady. The fake right, dodge left. Winds and fires, and a beautiful shot right there. Fist bump celebration. And 3-0 here on home turf for the Eagles.
Couldn't ask for a much better start if you're Coach Jim Conan and staff. Both these teams, I'm sure, very determined coming into this one to get back in that win column. It's been all Eagles so far. Another face-off win for Bono. He works in, down to the crease, this time a big save. Ball loose right in front. Couple players spill down to the turf. We get a push, and it's going to the Falcons. Starting with it will be Witzman, looking for a long clear, and this one will end up in the Hauppauge bench. A bad turnover there for the Falcons. And once again, the Eagles take possession right back. Here's Kump. Siegel will slow things down for Solido. Solido, spin move. Cuts towards the middle. Dishes it across. Swung back down to X. A spin move in front and another goal for Hauppauge. How about that? Natural hat trick, Nick Kump. Kump, the Vermont commit. A great move at X.
Beautiful spin, beautiful fake. Tucks it low. 4 straight for Hauppauge here. Brady running away with it early on.
Yeah, once again, could not ask for a better start if you're the Eagles here at home. Still 4.5 left in this first quarter, but they win another face-off. And now Solido on it.
They've dominated at the face-off X here today. And Brady, when I was doing the Shoreham Wading River game, girls game on Tuesday with Ellis Joshua, he spoke so much about face-offs for the boys' side, draws for the women's side, and how crucial it is, and how that is, we talk about it in hockey a lot. That's the start of possession. That's the start of your shift, per se. And for Hauppauge, the success they've had at the face-off X so far, big reason why they're up 4-0 here.
Absolutely. Sometimes you don't even really think of it at certain points in the game, as we get a timeout here for Deer Park, trying to settle things down is Coach James Curcio. But yes, as you were saying, Travis, the face-off lacrosse, hockey, doesn't matter, of course, in this case lacrosse, so incredibly important to start possession, and especially in this case, Hauppauge has won every single one of them. It's no surprise they have that 4-0 lead.
And it doesn't seem like much, but face-offs can really be the start of, like, as I mentioned, your momentum. That could be your shift, your drive. That's what gets you going. That's what starts the entirety of your set. If you can come up with a big face-off win. Hauppauge has won every face-off of this game so far. Deer Park got to bear down a little bit in that area of the field. And for Deer Park as well, I like the call of the timeout here. Bring the group in, slow things down a little bit for yourselves. When you get into your offensive set, slow it down a little bit. You got the full 60-second shot clock. Use that to your advantage. Work the ball around. Don't try to force anything. Wait for the opening to come to you. Don't try to force that opening.
Yeah, for sure. You know, Deer Park, this game is far from over. You don't want to, get too overly excited and make even more mistakes here. Of course, once again, they're going up against a first-time goalie here at the high school level, Drew DiBenedetto. Normally a midfielder. 6 goals, 1 assist on the season as a midi. He hasn't been tested whatsoever just yet. So we'll see if Deer Park can get anything towards the goal to start their possession. DiBenedetto's been playing lacrosse for 8 years since 5th grade. Hasn't played goalie all that often. All back in play. Bounce pass down low. Great little pass there, but swarming Eagles take the ball away and possession back to Hauppauge. They were all over Sauerman.
A little bit of a yard sale there, too.
Other player spills down, still loose the ground ball. Right along the sideline in the box. Finally, it goes out of bounds. Possession to Deer Park.
Game's getting a bit more physical here, Brady.
That was Dean Solomon, the senior who led his team out today with the American flag, who got knocked out of bounds. We get another timeout call here. There's just 3:22 left in quarter number 1. All Hauppauge so far. The last 3, if you're just joining us, scored by Nick Kump. Nick Kump has been playing since 1st grade and is also a soccer star as well. And as we mentioned, he'll be playing at the University of Vermont. Lacrosse, that is.
Say, soccer wouldn't be a bad spot either. University of Vermont soccer just won the national title last year.
Absolutely. So he certainly has his options, and soccer's a fall sport normally, right? So
yes.
Shouldn't interfere too much, although college, of course, it's more of a year-round thing, I suppose. As we come out of the timeout, will be Deer Park ball in front of their own bench. Or my apologies, it'll be Hauppauge ball after the timeout. Right at midfield, Siegel will take it. Hauppauge looking to run away with this one early, late stages of the first quarter. Alex Salido turning, goes to the far side. Now takes it all the way back around the near side, drops it off to Siegel, goes up top.
Deer Park in man defense here and force a double.
Kump scores! Force the double, then some miscommunication up top. As he's proven so far in this one, the last player you want to give this much time and space to.
You see the double came right there and wide open. No mistake about it. Can't give him that much room, Brady. He's going to make you pay every time.
He's made them pay so far without much room. And now a 5-0 lead for the Eagles. So here comes a very important face-off, especially for Deer Park. They got to get something going. It's been all Joe Bono so far.
Keep saying it, Brady. A lot of lacrosse left, but another face-off for Hauppauge.
And that was too easy there. Bono, a clean face-off win, and just dumps it off in front for the easy play that's Mason Piscatello with the goal.
Like you said, all Bono at the face-off X. And a beautiful pass in front. Not going to get much easier than that. Good reception of that pass from Griffin as well. Back to goal, spins out. Good shot, good goal all around for the Eagles.
My apologies, that was Griffin Siegel on the goal, number 3. Hauppauge going with the gray jerseys, the white numbers. A little bit tough to read once in a while. Siegel with the goal. Bouncing ball, Solido on it. Another pass across this time. Witzman, big time save.
That's a phenomenal save right there, Brady. Standing tall in the crease. You faced a lot of pressure so far here in this first quarter. A lot of shots, but the confidence doesn't waver. Great save.
Right over the head check there by Solido. Takes the ball away, and here he comes. Potential numbers down low. Solido's going to try to take it himself and just missed wide from a tough angle. Ball out of bounds. It will go to the Falcons. Good backup there by Witzman. He's done it all so far as it's been all Eagles. Has made a couple big saves when he's had to. Now back the other way. Dylan Jeffries. Junior midfielder. Errant pass there, though. It goes out of bounds. And Hauppauge gets possession right back.
That's kind of what I was alluding to earlier for Deer Park. Just slowing it down a little bit, making the passes a little bit more crisp, making sure the execution is there. Hauppauge's done a very good job of limiting your opportunities, so when you get into that offensive set, make sure you're slowing down and executing. Don't want to force things, rush things. Just, we see what happens there. The errant pass goes out of bounds, and here comes Hauppauge again.
Solido, meanwhile, with an errant pass himself. A great read by Witzman. And he sends his team off to the races the other way. Here's Sauerman with some speed. Drops it off. A little give and go action now. DeLargy gave it away. Hauppauge trying to clear. And they will. Great play there. Pass down low. Score. That's Solido. His second of the game.
And that's just phenomenal passing right there, Brady. I mean, you look at it. Just quick touch, right back across to the far side. A quick fake, and then over the top.
And that play started all with the defensive play back the other end as well. Looked like Deer Park might have a chance themselves, and great defense down the other way, and they take it right back. Anthony Belmonte, that was, who scooped it up and went almost the distance with it before dropping it off to Solido. 7-0 Eagles. Late stages, quarter number 1, 62 seconds exactly left on the clock. And Bono won this one cleanly, a bit too cleanly there. Face-off violation. And Deer Park will get an opportunity here off the draw. Here's DeLargy. Tries for the shot. Not on goal. Missed wide. Backed up, though. By the Falcons. Salamola. Dropped it for a moment. Back on it. Salamola drives it towards, and that lost the handle. And Di Benedetto scoops it up and starts the breakout. Didn't look like there was a shot there, so I'm trying to pull up the exact stats, but I don't believe Deer Park really has a shot on goal yet in this game. Only 20 seconds left in the first quarter. Hauppauge will hold for the last shot. Kump goes down to Solido. Across, return feed. Solido with just 5. Nice fake there. Another try, score. What a goal. And guess who? Nick Kump with just 2.8 on the clock. Perfect possession there for Hauppauge. Just holding for that last shot. Solido, great vision there to Kump, and having the presence of mind with the clock and the fake. So another face-off here. Just 2 seconds left, though, Travis, so it's unlikely that either team really going to be able to do anything off of this.
Yeah, pretty much just a ceremonial face-off here.
What a start, though, in this first quarter for the Eagles. Another clean win for Bono, because why not? Attempted the shot, couldn't get it away. That'll do it for quarter number 1, an 8 spot on the board for the home team. And they will take that lead into quarter number 2. Travis, couldn't be a much better start for Hauppauge here today.
Phenomenal start for the Eagles. Luckily for the Falcons, there's still a lot of lacrosse to be played. So come together now, bring together, revamp the game plan a little bit, and come back out for quarter number 2 ready to go.
Quarter 1, all Eagles. Will be back to see what quarter 2 has in store for us here. You are tuned in to Long Island High School Lacrosse here on LI Sports Network. Welcome back to Hauppauge High School, the site of high school boys lacrosse here on LI Sports Network. The Eagles, home team, leading the Deer Park Falcons 8-0 after 1 quarter of play. And the Birds of Prey matchup, Aaron Pass here right off another face-off win for Hauppauge, but this one will go to Deer Park. Brady Campbell, Travis Quigley with you. Travis, a lot of stress here, I'm sure, in that Deer Park huddle on this second quarter, trying to get back into the game. Of course, still a lot of lacrosse left to be played.
Yeah, like I keep saying, when Deer Park gets possession, they just got to slow things down a little bit, I think. Don't try to force things. Clean up their execution on their passes. Like you see there, trying to go long all the way down the field. Work it short. Play some small ball here. You got plenty of lacrosse to work with. And it's not like one goal's tying it up, you know? Take your time, work through your sets, focus on the execution. I think that's got to be the #1 game plan right here for Deer Park. Hauppauge, just keep doing what you're doing. You're succeeding, and everything you're doing is leading to success. Your face-offs, your passing, your shots. the way you're defending. So don't change a thing if you're Hauppauge. If you're Deer Park, just simplify, simplify, simplify.
As you mentioned, another turnover there moments ago. So Hauppauge settling things down. The clock not on their side just yet, but they're going to use it to their advantage. They're in no hurry here. Siegel go across with it. Don't need any more goals, at least at this juncture.
And with the shot clock now, so Hauppauge is going to be forced to take a shot here in 12 seconds. That one, nice save there, Brady. But if this was last season, there was no shot clock. Hauppauge could just hold the rock for the entire 12-minute quarter, and that's it. If Deer Park couldn't take it, you know what I mean? So now with the shot clock that's been implemented, it's good seeing the strategy that goes into each set for these teams.
See a lot less stall warnings now with the shot clock, at least this early in the game. Falcons trying to get on the board. More great defense here by Hauppauge, not allowing that to happen. Ball right along that far sideline. Looks like it does go out. It will stay with the Falcons. Now with X. Another great check behind the goal. Still loose. Couple players come together. Ramos gets the GB and feeds it to his goaltender. And that looks to be Steinhardt here getting the start in the second. Sean Steinhardt, junior goaltender, number 14 in gray. Pretty good first taste of goaltending for Drew DiBenedetto. Didn't face too many shots against, especially on goal. But a successful shutout first quarter of goaltending for him here at the high school level. Now Granshaw. Cuts back to his left. Takes the pass, now goes back up top with it. Solido to his left, draws the double. Drops it off. Skip pass, Granshaw. They're trying to force him to go to his right there. He wouldn't. And now the ball ends up on the turf. And it comes right back to him. Granshaw moves towards the middle. Jump shot and a great save by Witzman. Two phenomenal stops by 11 in maroon to get this quarter started. Here comes Deer Park back the other way.
They got numbers here, Brady. They got to go.
Sauerman got forced back, and then his pass gets knocked down to the turf, and Hauppauge comes right back. At least I'd say half of the Deer Park possession so far, they really haven't been able to get set up. Either a missed pass or Hauppauge's just been all over them.
Hauppauge's definitely playing aggressive defensively here today, Brady. But again, to me, I think it just comes down to that execution.
Solido shot scores! I'm not sure if the goaltender Witzman ever really saw it there. Either using the screen to his advantage, perhaps maybe even the sun here. But even after the fact, Witzman looked a bit surprised by that shot, and Solido's got himself a hat trick.
Yeah, it was a great shot right there. Good take. Again, Brady, the Hauppauge, when they're rolling into their offensive sets here, we don't see them forcing things. They're waiting for the openings. They're waiting to come to them. Good ball movement working around. Everyone's getting a touch. They're doing a phenomenal job with possession today.
This time, Bono couldn't win it cleanly. Ball still loose, but the Eagles do come away with it. And a chance here right down Main Street. A great save again. Ball still loose. Pops in the air off to the near side corner. So Witzman 3 for 4 on saves so far. And the one save he didn't make, he couldn't see. Kump, a nice dodge, and buries another one. What a first half for Nick Kump and the Eagles. Not even halfway through this second quarter here. Hauppauge reaching double digits. Losers of 1, 2, 3, 4, now 5 in a row here, trying to get back in the win column. They are on their way, certainly, so far. Meanwhile, on the other side, Deer Park started off their season with a win over Hauppauge, and it has been anything but smooth sailing for them as well since. Still looking for their first win in conference play. Another face-off win. Bono across, great passing down low. A couple fakes, and another one. That time it's Gavin O'Brien who buries the rock.
Again, Brady, just great passing for the Eagles here. Just, it's like they all know where each other are going to be. It's all like telepathic at this point. They're moving the ball extremely, extremely well here this afternoon and now into the evening.
Just quick one-touch passing from Hauppauge on that play, and we've seen it a few times here throughout. Bono overruns this one.
They're definitely showing you don't got to cradle the rock and make the pretty play every time.
Still loose here at the top of the box, and Hauppauge gets possession again. They've been one step ahead here on these ground balls. Centering pass knocked down. Another try. Quick passing again. Witzman, though, all over it. Now out of his cage. He's locked up in a 3-on-3 battle for the ground ball. It's like one of the Eagles ended up on the turf. We get a push here, loose ball push. And so possession will stay with Hauppauge. Siegel will start with it just outside the box. And the Eagles in no rush here. Still 50 out of 60 seconds left on the shot clock here with their possession.
Yeah, like you said, Brady, no rush here. Just work it around. Keep kicking it clockwise, counterclockwise, whatever way you want to go, really.
Skip pass, fake, now a take and a goal. And Solido's got another. The Oneonta commit having himself a day. Coming into this game with 5 goals, 19 assists on the season. And he's up that total quite a bit. He and Kump have found themselves on the score sheet. Solido has been playing this game for 14 years. That's got to be, what, 2-3 years of his life not with a lacrosse stick in his hand. He also enjoyed playing rugby during his 5th grade recess class. So Matt Solido, no stranger to these types of physical games.
Yeah, rugby. It's a tough game. Ball went out of bounds there, Brady's, and I believe we got a timeout called as well. I'll say it's the last Deer Park timeout of the first half.
Yeah, I couldn't quite tell who called it, but I believe you're right, and a much needed one. As Hauppauge picking up right where they left off. Practically doubling their first quarter lead here in the second. All gas, no brakes, as the kids would say. And Deer Park, at this point, just trying to make this first half, at least as you said, finish off strong. As you were talking about at the top of the show, even for the season in general here, Deer Park for the half that goes for them right now, and making a little bit of a game here. It's really kind of been some mental errors, some passing mistakes. Credit to Hauppauge, they've been all over them, but
like you said, Brady, just it's the little things, the little details, and you know, you just said it, I've said it a few times, just the crispness of the passes, the execution there, just being able to not force things and rush things. It feels like, and again, credit to how well defensively Hauppauge is playing today, but it feels like Deer Park is just rushing a little bit too much. They just got to slow things down just a tad. Except for that one where they had the numbers, where I wanted them to go quickly, actually, there. They had 5-on-3, and if they were able to go just a little bit quicker, I think it probably would have led to their first goal of the game. It's just the little stuff like that, just the little execution, the little bits and pieces, the little tiny details that normally we all are going to overlook. That's what I think Deer Park really needs to focus on here. At this stage, don't worry about the result. Don't worry about the score. Worry about your execution. Are you executing defensively? Are you doing the right things there? Are you executing when you get the ball in your stick? Are you picking your head up, making the right pass? It's not a force. It's an open guy. Do you have a shooting lane? Take that shot, you know? It's just the little bits and pieces of execution and the little details that the Falcons need to focus on here.
Yeah, at this point, most notably, if you have a shooting lane, most certainly take it. Because as you said, the result isn't looking great right now as we have our first flag of the game upcoming. Looks to be against the Eagles, so an opportunity here. But that's another thing. Not that they've had too many great looks shooting-wise, but I feel like Deer Park has been relatively passive as far as even taking shots towards the goal. Not too many attempts. Not that they have gotten a whole lot of opportunities, as we mentioned, a lot of possession so far.
And a big part of that is, Brady, you see through this set right now, 60-second shot clock, we got 20 left. The last 40 seconds, it's all been spent outside on the perimeter. We got to find somebody trying to dive through the middle, create a lane there, as now we see two divers coming into the posts. And I like that. We just got to get a little bit more movement a little bit sooner here.
Yeah, credit once again to this Hauppauge defense, who there's a reason why Deer Park has been kept to the outside. Now we get a bounce shot and a save by Steinhardt and our penalty upcoming.
And that shot came right as the shot clock was expiring there, Brady. So now Deer Park with a player-up advantage here. Quick ball movement. Like you mentioned, you see the lane, take the shot. Fire one. You never know what's going to go in. And for Deer Park, kind of like I was just saying, get to the middle. You got to get more to the middle. Whether it's diving through a cutter for a pass, whether it's whoever's possessing the ball, tucking that shoulder and just barreling their way through. Just more of an effort into the middle of the field. Very difficult to score goals on the perimeter.
See if they can find something here. It's a slashing penalty against Anthony Belmonte. Well under 5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Hauppauge up big here. Can Deer Park get on the board? Get a little something going before the break. Pass hits the turf. Important GB here, especially for this Falcons team. Still loose. We got another flag upcoming. Hauppauge came away with the ground ball, but it looks like possession will go back to Deer Park. And the penalty, another slashing call. So two long poles here for Hauppauge will sit, and a golden opportunity now for Deer Park. This is Blake R., who will head off. So 6-on-4, two-man advantage. Can't get many bigger opportunities than this to finally get on the board here.
It's a great opportunity for the Falcons. Will they capitalize?
Around the perimeter they start. Not a whole lot of movement to it. Now they find the pass down low, and the shot, not sure it ever ended up on goal, but it goes behind the net. Getting knocked to the deck there was Drew DeLargy as he took the shot, and therefore no one to back it up for Deer Park, and the Hauppauge gets possession back. That was a pretty good look, but once again, Falcons cannot cash in, and the Eagles will look to run out the clock here on these penalties. Here's O'Brien. See the coaching staff, Coach Koenig, Coach Foster, just telling them to hold it. One penalty up. And the second one should be just about over here as well. And it is. Hauppauge back to even strength. Gave up one good look, but Deer Park unable to capitalize. Another save from Witzman, meanwhile, on this other side, who, despite the score could be a lot more for Hauppauge. Not for some of the goaltending here today of Marley Witzman.
Certainly could, Brady. And I said it a couple times today that Witzman's made some big saves.
This is Di Benedetto, so as we mentioned, started the game as goalie for the first, now playing his normal midi position. Bounced that pass though, so possession back to Deer Park. DeLargy goes up top for Breslin. Another flag down. Hauppauge a little undisciplined here in the second quarter. They've gotten away with it though so far. Great knockdown there, but now we'll get the whistle.
That's a good read, Brady, and another chance for Deer Park here as they'll go man up once more.
It's like an offside call. I was going to say there wasn't a whole lot going on when the flag was thrown here. So Johnny Irwin will serve the penalty. That one more of a mental mistake than anything on the Eagles' part. And Deer Park, excuse me. Couple parks relatively close to each other. Also, I believe they share similar colors as well. Used to calling a lot of Kings Park games for the Suffolk County High School Hockey League. A turnover here, Deer Park on it. Now DeLargy. Potential hidden ball trick there. DeLargy did drop it off though. 40 to shoot. 80 seconds left in the half. That's a great look there. A try. Steinhardt makes the save.
It's a great stop right there.
Definitely one of the better looks. One of the better overall passing plays as well. They found Sauerman cutting. And all his momentum heading to the cage. Now a pass towards the goal. Witzman aggressively out of his net. One minute left here in quarter number 2. All Hauppauge so far, they've shown just about no signs of slowing down. Couple penalties. They've killed off all 3 of them. Back to even strength once again here.
Hauppauge looking like a team that's trying to make a strong second half push here.
Both these teams towards the bottom of the conference BCD standings here in Suffolk County. Still have about half a season left. Hauppauge in a little bit of better shape, especially if the score holds here. Try to carry that momentum into their next few games.
15 and a half, Brady.
Shot clock doesn't matter here, but a goal! Going to his left this time is Kump. He went a little quiet here in the second quarter, but finds the back of the net with 11.4 left on the clock.
Another great shot there, and really putting on a show here today.
Wonder if the Vermont Oneonta scouts, coaches perhaps, on location today to watch their 2 future stars here for Hauppauge, who have put on an absolute clinic so far offensively. Another face-off. Still time for perhaps one more goal, and Hauppauge does win the draw. Bono scoops it up. Time running out. A bounce shot fought off by Witzman. 1.9 on the clock. Potential opportunity for a quick catch and shoot, but Hauppauge will just take it to the horn, as they should. What a half for the Eagles here at home. They do it here on PAL night. It's also Headstrong Foundation night. It's supposed to be a whiteout. Don't think all the fans got the memo, but The fans showing out in full force here, and the team has put on an absolute show for them in the first half.
Yeah, Brady, big performance here so far for the Hauppauge Eagles on their home turf. As you see, they're making the tunnel now for the PAL lacrosse players to come on out and get a little scrimmage out on the high school field. Both sides will make their way to the corner. We'll put 10 minutes up on the board, and Falcons are going to get a message right now from their coaching staff. Eagles will get the same. Like I said, after the first quarter, Brady, Eagles message is going to stay the same for Deer Park. Just simplify things a little bit. Try to just make it easier on yourself in terms of making the game simple. Simple passes, simple shots, simple. Just break everything down as small as you can into those little details and execute.
We'll see how James Curcio can get his team rallied and fired up for the second half. All Eagles in the first half, 13-0 lead for Jim Conan's squad. We'll be back for the second half here momentarily in about 10 minutes or so on LI Sports Network.
Don't forget to buy your 50/50 raffle tickets. Did you know that 1 out of 3 Americans will be directly affected by cancer during their lifetime? Headstrong Foundation is working with families all over the country to help improve their quality of life. Learn more at headstrong.org. Did you know that lime green is a national awareness color for non-Hodgkin's lymphoma? The disease that claimed the life of Headstrong founder Nick Lori. Join the Headstrong Foundation's fight against cancer by visiting headstrong.org to learn how you can change the game for those affected by the diseases. One more call on the 50-50. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time you've been waiting for, the winner of the 50-50 raffle. Get your tickets out. All right, the winning raffle ticket, 6, 0, 4, 5, 0, 9, 0. The winning raffle is 6045090. For families displaced while pursuing comprehensive cancer treatment, the Headstrong Foundation is proud to offer Nick's House, a guest family home which provides complimentary lodging and support when families need it most. Help us give families home field advantage at headstrong.org/donate. One more time, congratulations to our 50-50 raffle winners. The Headstrong Foundation is focused on being the solution for families overcome by cancer through providing direct financial, logistical, emotional, and residential support. Headstrong is not only a coach, but is proud to be a teammate to those going the distance.
I'm 23. 23. Welcome back to LI Sports Network's coverage here of Suffolk County Boys High School lacrosse. It is a 13-0 lead to start the second half. Brady Campbell and Travis Quigley with you. 13-0 Hauppauge, that is here. The Eagles at home against the Deer Park Falcons. And the Eagles another face-off win here to start quarter number 3. And they'll go to work here in the offensive end. In no hurry, Solido. Both he and Nick Kump have found the back of the net several times here today. Look out, a yard sale, a couple flags, and the first penalty against Deer Park upcoming.
Yeah, it didn't take long for that, Brady.
Hitting the deck that time was Irwin. And sitting with the penalty, Joseph Rivas. Travis, we talked about it. This Hauppauge team has lost 4 straight here, looking to get back in the win column, as is Deer Park. But for this Deer Park team, haven't even had too many shots on goal so far. The message has got to just be, as you were kind of saying, forget about the result. Obviously not over just yet, but take a pretty much a miracle at this point for Deer Park. Just, you know, play your game, put all the fundamentals to work.
Yeah, you know, don't the result at this stage, get it out of your head. Don't think about the result. Don't think about what the score line is right now. Worry about, as I mentioned before we went to the break, your execution. The simple plays, the little details. Just focus on getting the little things right, executing on those small details, and everything else will come. The goals will come. The success will come.
Save from Witzman, who has made some big saves in spite of the score here today. Ball on the ground. Still on the ground. Just about everyone involved here in this scrum.
And Brady, I think, just going back to how I continue to harp on fundamentals, the little details, those things. And I think that part of the game is so much more important for the programs that aren't considered the Long Island Blue Bloods, you know what I mean? The schools that aren't most notably known for having those super strong lacrosse programs that are sending their entire starting lineup out to Division I colleges. You know, both these teams have talented players on them, and both these teams have players that will go play at a high level of college lacrosse. It's just a matter of, as a team, as I keep saying, the fundamentals, the little details, just owning those in, and the execution of them.
Yeah, I couldn't say it better myself for these teams, although it's really the case for, I'm sure, all of these schools, but this Hauppauge team is another bounce shot stopped by Witzman. Many of these guys have been playing together since, you know, PAL, elementary school.
And we just saw the PAL guys out on the turf for halftime. That one right off the noggin.
That was Jaskar Singh who took it up high. Appears no worse for wear. And check there out of bounds. Perhaps a cross check. Looks like it is. Mueller got tattooed right into the Eagles bench there.
Yeah, no hesitation from the official throwing that flag.
So back to the man up. Here goes The Deer Park Falcons still looking for their first goal of the game. Muller will start with it here at the 31-yard line, just outside the box. Hauppauge giving them a bit more space here, not quite as aggressive as they were in that first half, basically shutting down the Deer Park offense, who really didn't even have a shot on goal in the first quarter against Drew DiBenedetto, who made his first goaltending start. And then Sean Steinhardt made a couple of saves in quarter number 2. Turnover here. Hauppauge back the other way.
No, I really liked the movement there from the Falcons.
Bounce shot. Good look there. Just missed over the crossbar. Nearly perfectly placed by Belmonte. Yeah, as you were saying, that was a much better possession. Now, obviously, Hauppauge might have toned down their defense, as it looked like perhaps too, a little bit here in this second half. But Deer Park, once again, does come up empty. Kump keeps it moving to Salido. Those two have combined for more than half, almost all of the goals. Oh, how about a highlight reel goal right there? Drawing the flag as well. Right along the crease. That's Witzman, came out of his net delivering the cross check. It didn't matter.
Yeah,
that was Griffin Siegel, made the catch facing his own cage and was able to backhand that, if you will, into the back of the net.
Scored a similar one back in the first quarter. Received the pass back to the cage and turns, fires. This one he didn't turn though. Kept his back to the cage and still found a way to put the rock home.
Griffin, the younger brother of Ethan, who had a goal earlier. We mentioned before, this team has, overall, a lot of these guys have been together for so long. Matt Salido, Ethan Siegel, Nicholas Kump, Ryan Kneisel, who is injured, not playing in this one, Tyler Didio, Brandon Dulce, Drew DiBenedetto. I could go on and on. Jack Campbell, who is now on the baseball team, got his first career hit with Hauppauge High School baseball. Want to give him a quick shout out. Hopefully he better be watching at home.
Jack definitely doesn't want to find out if he's not watching at home right now.
Deer Park back on the ball here. Couple players hit the deck. Another clear for Hauppauge. Salido back the other way with speed. We'll slow things down a little bit.
Yeah, that was a pretty wild collision back on right around midfield there, Brady. Like you said, a couple of bodies hitting the ground.
Yeah, it looked like two Deer Park players kind of collided into one another. There's a Hauppauge player involved as well. Nice little move there up top. 35 on the shot clock. Salido working it around. 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Score hasn't changed.
So this is something that I've been kind of tracking since the first quarter, Brady. I was interested to see if this would change at all. As see a shot go wide there. Deer Park's been playing man all day long. I wondered if they would eventually switch over to a zone defense just to try to clog up the middle of the field, because Hauppauge's been doing such a great job of getting to the middle of the field, but they're sticking with the man, sticking with their guns. So coach obviously has a system, wants to stick with it, and you got to respect that, of course.
Good centering pass and right as the shot was about to let go.
Shot clock.
Got the shot clock violation. Hauppauge probably doesn't care all too much about that. So they were able to wind a minute off the clock there.
And I'm sure that's what most of the rest of this game is going to be for Hauppauge. When they do have possession, just working the ball around. You never want to be unsportsmanlike, disrespectful. They know that they've done their job today, and they don't have to continue to pour it on.
It certainly appears that they have enough here to win as this one ends up in their bench. Possession will stay with the Falcons. At this point, just trying to preserve something that I will not mention. I have learned my lesson. It is James DeSantis now in goal for Hauppauge, so they're able to work through all three goalies, or their two usual goalkeepers, plus Di Benedetto, who got the start. So all three of those guys able to see some action between the pipes. Ground ball here. Great box out by Daniel Quattrucci. Bit of a wild pass, though. Does end up out of bounds, and it goes back to Deer Park. Here's Dylan Jeffries. Junior midi keeps it moving. Breslin. Centers it. Great pass there. A shot just missed wide. One of the better looks for Deer Park. Delargy couldn't get it to go.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal look right there. Good ball movement, and like you said, just misses. Very, very close on the bounce shot.
That's the thing, too. The goalkeepers really haven't been all that busy so far. Like, Deer Park has had their chances, but there've only been really a couple on net. I'm not sure if any have gone in on DeSantis just yet. Steinhardt did make a couple saves. Only a couple, though, and Di Benedetto really faced one shot against, and he didn't have to make the save. It went wide, so Hauppauge defense has just been phenomenal, and Deer Park hasn't been all that accurate when they have had the looks. Final minute here, third quarter. Hauppauge can take this one down to the horn. We will get a shot, though. Great kick save. Kick save and a beauty, and aggressively out of his net to scoop it up is Witzman. Looks like he might go for the one-man clear. Moved it quickly, though, to Delargy, who was triple teamed. Now right back the other way comes Hauppauge.
He took a big check there, too.
Centering pass picked off. Good read there. Ball loose now, and we get a flag upcoming. And the penalty. Get the call here from the official. Slashing call against Siegel, Griffin Siegel. And that should just about do it here for quarter number 3. Same score as when we started this second half. A relatively even quarter in the end, though. It's all the same. Still all Eagles here in this game.
They scored a goal.
Fourth quarter is a go here on LI Sports Network. It's boys Suffolk County High School lacrosse. 13-0 lead for Hauppauge, and man up for Deer Park to start the final frame. Looking for their first goal here. They've had several man-ups throughout, unable to convert. You see the great defense here by Hauppauge. Everyone talking, everyone on their man. Brady Campbell, Travis Quigley with you here for this game at Hauppauge High School, as the Eagles 2-6 on the year. Falcons 1-7. Both teams looking for a big win. It appears it will be just that for Hauppauge. Here's a chance. Cranshaw just pulled it a bit wide. Hauppauge on the backup. Cranshaw, he got checked right as he caught it, and he did step on that end line. Possession back to the Falcons.
Back to even as well here, Brady. Hauppauge have done an excellent job today. Every time they've gone man down, two-man down, they've, like you mentioned, clogged up the middle, packing up the fort, holding it down defensively.
Nick LaChapelle will clear. 10.5 left at this point. Can the Falcons break through? It is still James DeSantis, as all three goalies have split the first 3 quarters for Hauppauge. DeSantis will get the last one as well. Breslin takes the shot, didn't make it through. Backed up by DeLargy. $20 on the shot clock here. With this deficit, Muller appears in no hurry. Now he turns the corner. Muller gets topside, fires just wide.
Great look right there. Definitely one of the best looks for Deer Park today. But they've just got 2 on the shot clock, so as soon as they get back in, just going to have to drop it and turn it over to Hauppauge.
That's exactly what they do. Another possession for Deer Park in which they come up empty. And Hauppauge a great clear. Over midfield comes Irwin. Quick little passing play. Bounce shot. That was a tough one. A slow bounce shot. And it was fought off. A great save, now hustling after it is the new goalkeeper. That looks like that's Ryan Torres here, who will get a look. Still a battle in front of the cage now. Physicality has certainly picked up at times. Where's the ball? And it is Deer Park that does come away with it. Sean Breslin was able to find it as cross, then wrestled down. We aren't playing on a hybrid lacrosse football soccer field, but it's not the fall quite yet. And we get a flag here against Hauppauge.
Yeah, that was an interesting one right there. Deer Park going back. On the man up.
That's face-off specialist Joe Bono doing his best Abdul Carter impression on that play. Gets flagged for it, and another man up here for Deer Park with 8 minutes left. They cycle it around. Still plenty of time to shoot. Trying to break through. Pass in and out of the stick. Still loose. Another check delivered on Laubacken. Down to goal line extended. Muller. Back up top for Sauerman. Sauerman waits for the defender to attack. He has the shorty. Sauerman takes it towards the net and a save. First real test for DeSantis. He passes.
It's a great stop right there.
Clear here for the Eagles.
About 7 minutes to go here, Brady.
A little passing in tight. No one home on the backdoor play. Now we get a whistle. Looks like Eagle was in the crease. So possession will go back to the Falcons. And a great one-man clear that time by Jake Filosa. Filosa yard sale. As he did not see the defender coming on that play. That was Terrence Kane who delivered the check. Eagles come back in, passing down low, they score. That's another one for Griffin Siegel. His third of the day. So halfway through this fourth quarter, Travis, and I think it's safe to say Hauppauge is on their way to their third victory on the season. That'll cut the deficit, if you will, record-wise as far as 500 goes in half. And they still got a few more games left here. 7 on the season, so they could get plenty of momentum from this game. They could string together a couple wins and get right back into the swing of things here in Suffolk County action.
Yeah, like we talked about in the pregame. We're right about at the midpoint of the season, and this is a contest that for both sides, you can use this as momentum. Use this as wind in your sails.
Passing play down low again, another goal, and how about that? That's Belmonte. The long stick getting some action down near the goal, and he's able to bury one.
You see why he's so fired up, Brady. That's his first goal of the season.
Belmonte listed as defense, and that's normally what he plays here, getting some action as a long stick midi. He's really positioned there almost as an attackman, but I would assume they'd give him a shorter stick if he was playing attack. And goes up to get it here off the face-off. Belmonte, one of the more unsung heroes, if you will, of this game for Hauppauge. Made some great defensive plays, got rewarded with his first goal, and now some more offensive zone time, if you will, for him. Although now it looks like he'll head back.
Just a lot of credit to Hauppauge for how they played this game today. Stuck to their system the whole way through.
That bounce shot looked to be checked out of the stick of the shooter and bounced over the goal. That was Anthony Barbera.
And again, still a bit of a mountain to climb here for Hauppauge, but this is a win that can really, really, really set you off for the second half of the season and give you that confidence boost and that push you need to try to claim one of those final playoff spots in your conference.
Granshaw scores! Took it all the way around the box. And the 2029 class graduate able to bury it.
That made me feel old. 2029?
That's what it says here. Which, would that even make him a high schooler?
No. It's an 8th grader.
Michael Granshaw. That's his 8th goal on the season. He has had plenty of playing time. He's got now 8 goals, 1 assist on the season.
It's pretty incredible.
And making us feel very old up here.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not uncommon for middle schoolers to play up sometimes on the varsity teams, but to put up the numbers he has in doing so. Credit to him and his team here. 2.5 left. And now all eyes on Ken Deer Park. Break through and at least finish these final 2.5 minutes strong. Take a little bit of something with them into their next game coming up. on May 1st. 4:30 p.m. start. That will be against West Hampton. Is Deer Park's next game. As they will look to get back in the wing column. A chance blocked down and will trickle wide. Took a deflection out in front. Meanwhile, Hauppauge's next game coming up on the 29th, just a few days from now. 5:30 p.m. face-off back here at home against Center Moriches. So that is the Eagles' opponent in which they will look to build some momentum here down the stretch.
That should be a good contest as well between Hauppauge and Center Moriches.
Travis and I assume it will likely be Travis and I. LI Sports Network will be back with you for the final game of the season, May 16th against West Hampton. Once again, we are getting ahead of ourselves, but what could be a big game for this Eagles team. Another backhand try, never made it through. That will be the final game of the regular season for those two teams.
Reset on the shot clock, and under a minute now, Brady, so we can just shut the shot clock off at this point, and Hauppauge can hold on to this one and just burn the rest of the time.
So that's exactly what they'll do. Grand shot, Pierce, he'll get the last goal, and they'll fire that skip pass across. Deer Park in no hurry to get the ball back here and break. There's 30 seconds left, Travis. Break the shutout. We see combined no-hitters in baseball. This will be a combined shutout for first-time goalie Drew DiBenedetto, Sean Steinhardt, and James DeSantis. Didn't face too many shots on goal between the three of them, but they get the job done. Their defense swarming phenomenally out in front of them. And that'll do it. Deer Park wasting no time going back out onto the field as the horn sounds. 15-0, a dominant victory for the Eagles.
Yeah, Hauppauge really brought it today on their home turf. I talked about it a ton, Brady. Just the word I used a ton, execution. And Hauppauge, bottom line, they executed to perfection today. Everything that they were trying to do. Offensively, defensively, at the face-off X, they did it all, and they did it to a T the way they needed to get it done. For Deer Park, it's not like this entire game was bad for them. They had some moments. They had opportunities. It's just a matter of those little details owning in, just a little bit crisper on some of the passing and some of those things. But you can see this Deer Park side, they have potential. It's just about putting it all together.
For sure. And I have seen a lot of high school lacrosse around the island, more so Nassau County. But this is definitely one of the better overall just dominant team performances that I've seen. I mean, from start to finish. Credit to the Eagles, and we'll see if they could springboard that momentum into their next couple games. For Deer Park, a really tough loss like this, probably their toughest loss of the season. Just gotta put it quickly to bed, as you said, and try to regroup in their next game. Obviously a tough one at the midpoint of their season that isn't going to help their season by any means.
No, but maybe, take the bus ride home, you think about some things that you could have done differently, and as you said, you put it to bed, you sweep it away, and you come back on Monday, get ready for another week of school and practice, and you continue to try to get better and improve each and every game.
For sure, and thank you so much for joining us. That'll do it for our coverage here of this dominant win for the Eagles. For everyone here at LI Sports Network, Paul Trentini braving the wind at times and a little bit of the cold as the sun begins to set up on the camera. Travis Quigley, I'm Brady Campbell signing off. The final score, the Hauppauge Eagles 15 and the Deer Park Falcons nothing in this battle of the birds of prey. You've been tuned in to Boys Suffolk County High School Lacrosse here on LI Sports Network. that we